Burning coal for energy? Well, frankly, it's a joke. Doesn't work. It's expensive. And the 5 biggest coal companies in the US have all gone bankrupt within the last decade. Well, this latest news report proves what I've been trying to tell you and being told I'm wrong by many of you is real. Coal is no longer financially viable in most parts of the world. Here's the proof. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. My name's Sam Evans and I'm the Electric Viking. I'm coming to you here from Australia, Melbourne in Australia in fact, where we now have one of the biggest batteries in the world. Why do we have it? Well, you know, our Prime Minister called the big battery that was built in Adelaide, the world's first big battery, very, very big battery. He called it the Big Banana. He said it was a joke and it wouldn't work. But it worked so well economically that the company that built it actually doubled it in size within the last 6 months. Now, many other countries are following suit. However, the price of battery storage is coming down massively. Why? 2 reasons. 1, LFP batteries are becoming cheaper and cheaper. 2, very soon, the world's largest battery manufacturer, CATL, will start to deploy massive battery storage using sodium batteries, which are about 30% cheaper, say CATL, than lithium iron phosphate batteries. This, my friends, will have enormous effects on the world. It will make coal completely unviable as an energy source. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about these new sodium batteries from CATL, which will undoubtedly change the world. However, even in spite of this incredible future we're looking at, it's already happening now, even without these sodium batteries. The West Australian government here in Australia is closing coal-burning power plants already, investing billions into renewable energy storage, and investing into attracting new industries and creating new jobs. They're not just doing this for greenwashing or for pretending that they want to do the right thing or, this is actually a financial decision at the heart of it. We know that the economics of coal-fired power plants have been coming under pressure for a long time now as the cost of battery storage decreases, as the cost of solar energy decreases, and as the efficiency improves, and also as the same thing happens with wind power generation. We're standing at a point where to continue business as usual would lead to around $3 billion of losses by the end of this decade. Those losses either have to be covered by taxpayers or would lead to a dramatically higher power bills for Western Australians, while still continuing to emit higher levels of carbon emissions. Western Australian Premier Mark McGowan said, either way, coal is simply not sustainable in the long term. So, yeah, they've done the numbers, haven't they, right? This is not the Electric Viking getting on his high horse and going on about how coal doesn't work. This is a literal leader of a state saying, we've done the numbers, it's going to cost us $3 billion more if we don't actually start using renewable energy. Now, granted, yes, Western Australia gets a lot of sun, but so do many, many countries around the world. Western Australia will be retiring all of its government-owned coal-fired power plants, power stations by 2030. They will then invest an estimated $3.8 billion by 2030 into a generation of renewables and storage, mostly wind, batteries and solar, to ensure that Western Australia has affordable and reliable power into the future. Now, David Waterworth says for Clean Technica that by giving a long period of notice and investing $547 million to support the long-term future of Western Australia's only coal-producing region, Collie, with a population of 8,000, the government hopes to minimise the impact of the transition on this town. The plan is to attract new industries to the town and hence create new jobs. The idea is, of course, if these coal power plants and the coal mining that goes on there in this town is shut down, the town would become a ghost town. So they want to try and prevent that from happening. I'm not so sure that that's the best plan, but anyway, that's what they're doing. The package includes $200 million for a Collie Industrial Transition Fund to attract new industrial projects to the town. It also includes a pipeline of decommissioning works at Muja Power Station and Collie Power Station immediately after each asset closes. Now, Western Australia have said that they will be investing $26 million expanding training and skills resources in Collie to assist workers transitioning to new roles. This builds on the existing $115 million that the Australian government has already invested in Collie to diversify and strengthen the town. Apparently, it's seeing results. As the world decarbonises, communities that have been traditionally based around fossil fuels shouldn't be left behind. Now, this is what you start to see, right? When a government makes a logical decision that's not based on what? Not based on industries having power over it or some sort of political decision making because different interest groups have vested interests and have close ties to government employees, etc., etc. This is what happens when logic is the first priority. Logic, right? Now, hopefully the eastern states of Australia will follow suit because the same logic applies to them. Solar energy is definitely growing at a rapid rate here in Victoria, where I live. And it's on track to meet 40% of Australia's energy needs within the next 5 years. And it's on track to meet 40% of our state's energy needs within the next 5 years. That, though, could be much greater with more investment from the government. The reality is, coal-fired power stations, unless they are run at a minimum 70% of the time, at 70% minimum efficiency, they actually lose a lot of money. And most of them, by the way, 9 out of 10 coal-fired power stations that I've been able to research don't run at 70% efficiency. In other words, they're loss-making operations. Solar, on the other hand, is an entirely different story. We can predict it, we can control it, and we don't have to burn anything to make it work. It's genius. Now, as I've told you many times before, renewable energy will become the number one source of energy on the planet by 2030. I've been ridiculed for this. I've been mocked for this. I've been told I was wrong. But my friends, I think this story shows you that there's a good chance I'll be right. Now, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be right, but let me know what you think. And as always, have a great day. Bye-bye.